It is true that I have sent 6 bullets through the head of my best friend. And yet I hope to show by this statement that I am not his murderer. If I were to tell you just when I knew that a friendship with Edward Derby was going to be exhausting, I would say it was within moments of our first meeting. I was a college intern at his father's architectural firm, and Edward immediately took me into his confidences, making me his first and only friend, his personal chauffeur, and the keeper of secrets from his smothering indulgent mother and grim, unsympathetic father. His words, not mine. So I was hardly surprised the day he came to me with what would be an odd request from your average person. But this was Edward. So it involved the practical applications of magic, his words, not mine. And therefore his father could never find out. And as usual, it began with a knock on the door. Edward's knock.
Dan, I need your help.
What's the matter?
I'm being blackmailed. No, I'm serious. I need your help desperately.
The only thing you need desperately is to have your head examined. I can recommend somebody help you with that.
Come on. You really want to know?
No, I don't. Actual blackmail, huh?
Yeah, it's like they're stealing my milk money all over again.
Can't you just ignore it?
Trust me, Dan. If it's anything like the second grade, I know how these things work. Pay it and they run away. Run away, they chase you.
There a reason these things always seem to happen to you?
I don't know. So, what do you say? 1,000? You know I'm good for it.
$1,000? I don't know, Edward.
Come on, Dan. He'll disown me.
He would not.
He'll cut off my allowance. I'll be penniless.
Could always get a job.
Out of the question. Dan, this is a grave matter.
Is this what Europe does to a person? Yeah, 6 months ago, I didn't think you would have pulled through.
Oh, you're talking about my psychological malady.
It's called grief, Edward.
I was incapacitated with lamentation. Whoa. Semantics and rhetoric, Daniel. I lost my mother. Nothing poetic about it.
Hardly.
My whole life, my only avenue to freedom was my imagination. I'm not a strange child with a secretive inner life anymore. I'm an enormously educated, dangerous adult. You're not writing this down, are you?
I'm writing you a check.
For what?
For your blackmailer. Because I realize if I don't do it now, I may have to support you for the rest of your life. Because I love you. So let's leave it at that, okay?
Thanks. You know I'd do anything for you.
Likewise.
Oh, there's one other thing. There's a meeting of the intelligentsia at Miskatonic tonight. I need a lift home.
Fine. Now get out of here. Some of us have work.
Thanks. I'll call you later, and I'll pay you back. I promise.
You better.
Hi, Marion. Good luck with that growth.
Hi, Edward. Hi, Edward. What was that about?
He needs a ride home later tonight. I said I'd take him.
What happened to his chauffeur?
I didn't ask.
When's he gonna learn how to drive?
Believe me, I've tried to teach him. Edward's mind wanders too much to drive.
How convenient. I'd be happy to work with him if he ever decided to be anything other than a perennial child.
I'll let him know.
If you need me, I'll be out back having a smoke.
Marion, you said you were gonna stop.
Just kidding, Dan.
I'm not in the habit of being dishonest with my wife. But where Edward was concerned, I learned long ago that less information meant less aggravation for Marion. It drove her crazy that Edward never seemed to learn from his mistakes. Case in point, the blackmailer hadn't even received his payment,
Is realizing
and Edward was back carousing with the Miskatonic set.
what is inevitable.
Hey, I was wondering. I had an idea. I need to go over to do a little research project, and I could sure use the company. Give me a couple of minutes. Daniel! Surprise. Hey, let me introduce you to one of my students.
Hi,
It's a pleasure.
nice to meet you.
Where's the wife, Harold?
Cheryl's at home, Dan. Thanks for asking. Now, Daniel here is surely someone who could get you a signed copy of Edward's book.
What book? You read another book?
No, I'm talking about Asenath.
That's 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I heard it was really good.
It was better than good.
It was a phenomenon. He was only 17. He's a one-hit wonder of nightmare lyricism. Too bad.
And 9 is the first time you know.
Who's the
everything
hypnotist?
is outside of. That's Asenath Waite. She's one of the Smith Waites.
Excuse me?
Strange element there.
Not quite human.
Been studying with Professor Gilman too much.
It's when you first start to ask the question.
Well, Asenath's situation is a bit more authentic. Waits lived in the decaying mansion on Washington Street.
It's creepy. We've been there. All the windows were boarded up.
This is what they're teaching you there?
Very funny, Dan. Now, the old man, Ephraim, was known to have been a prodigious student of the black arts in his day. Before he died, he had been searching for a young man to study under him. She looks fiendishly like him sometimes.
Strange things happen when Asenath comes around.
I saw that look on Edward's face.
Was your friend all right in there?
She's incredible.
The look meant new fascination, infatuation. I was confused as to the object at first. Was it the bizarre transaction that I had just witnessed? The bubbling blister on that woman's hand? Or the transmaker who was throwing up and howling in the bathroom? After the smoke cleared and the burns were salved, I learned it was the hypnotist herself
We have the same interests.
that had earned the greater
same
part of his attention.
vocation.
She's got sort of an odd reputation.
Well, people are intimidated by her. You're not saying anything, Dan.
I'm happy to see you're so upheaved about her.
Thanks, Dan. And thanks for the ride. Thanks for everything. And by the way, I'm not mentioning her to my father.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Me neither.
So how long has this been going on?
About a week.
So that explains why we haven't seen Edward since what, Wednesday? Oh, what? Is Dan afraid that he's gonna lose his best friend? Oh, come on, you should be happy for him. He had to grow up eventually.
That's just a problem. He hasn't grown up at all.
Good evening, Dr. Upton.
Edward, for a second there, I thought that maybe you were one of my patients.
Not today.
Sometimes they do wander around the house, knock on the wrong door. They really should lock that.
I'm not sure, but I think your wife just told me I looked like I was crazy.
Well, you know Marion, she's usually a pretty good judge of these things. Are you crazy?
Crazy in love with her. Asenath Waite, not your wife.
Yeah, that's what I figured you meant.
She has seen so much in her life. You can tell just by looking in her eyes. She gave me this so she can always be with me.
What the hell is that?
I have no idea. I want to see what she sees. My writing has always been so academic until now. She's a fanatical devotee of the black arts.
Can you even hear what you're saying, Edward?
She wants to become partners. We're going to travel the world together and find things like this from the outside.
Are you sure it's a good idea to get involved, to jump into something so suddenly? Okay, Marion sees this kind of thing all the time. A parent dies, and the child transfers their parental dependence to some new, stronger image. It never works out. Promise me you'll at least think about it. If not sanely and rashly, then at least maturely, before you let it get any farther along than it is. Can you do that for me?
Of course.
Edward seemed to be moving forward with his new relationship, and as he said to me, he considered it a smashing success. He was less successful in keeping the news from his father. I was summoned to meet with Mr. Derby, and yes, the invitation had been presented to me as formally as if a process server had delivered it. Only I knew the server. It was George, the Derby butler, and as far as I was concerned, the most down-to-earth member of the household.
George. Hi, Daniel.
Mr. Derby wanted to see me?
He's upstairs. Go on up. Can I bring you anything?
No, thanks, George. I'm good. Mr. Derby? Mr. Derby?
I'm in here.
Mr. Derby, beautiful day, isn't it?
Have your lunch yet?
Yes, sir, I have.
Well, you've eaten already? What time is it?
It's 2 o'clock, sir.
That late. That's what's lousy about these weekends. Can't keep track of the time. I need something to eat. They got any of last night's concoction in the kitchen?
I can check, sir.
I need to speak to you about my son. I'm sure you've heard about this girl he's taken up with.
Yes, sir. In fact, I have.
It's all over Arkham by now, I'm sure. My secretary congratulated me on my son's new romance. I immediately began to wonder what the big secret is. You're a church-going man. You appreciate this. You know what the big secret is?
I'm sorry?
She's a goddamn necromancer.
A what?
A witch. She communicates with the dead, casts spells, worships Satan. For the Christ's sake, I don't know whatever else. I can only say I thank God that my wife isn't alive to see any of this.
Mr. Derby, I'm sure it'll pass. He's infatuated with her, that's all.
Oh, I see he's kept you in the dark as well.
What do you mean?
I wormed the real truth out of the boy. He means to marry this Waite woman. They're looking at houses together.
He tells me everything.
Huh. Usually you have great influence over my boy. Help me break off this affair, Danny.
Mr. Derby, I admire you and respect you. You've done so much for me in my life. I'd do anything for your family. But I know Edward, and this is not him. This is not a question of Edward's weak will, but of this woman's strong will. Must be.
Talk to him, Danny. He'll listen.
Well, regretfully, must express my doubts. Nothing more can be done. The Derby summons was followed by another, this time from Edward himself, requesting my presence at a formal function to be given in his honor. And he added if I wanted to, I could bring Marion with me.
have to go at all. He said it was important. Nice. I know, I'm huge. I don't fit in anything anymore. It's nice to see you. I know, I can't wait for this. Men will never know what it takes.
So why are we so dressed up?
I just got married.
Oh, here. You're crazy. Give me a hug. Crazy. Congratulations.
This is my wife. Sure. Asenath, I'm Daniel.
I know. Edward speaks of you often.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about you too. It's nice to finally meet you.
I've been busy with the wedding,
No, I didn't. Yeah, I can see that.
and my work always keeps me occupied.
Sure. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Edward tells me that you guys have purchased the old Crown and Shield place at the end of High Street.
Yes. I hope one day we can...
Asenath, any friend of Edward's is a friend of mine. It was only because her voice was still fresh in my mind that I paused when I heard it in a heated conversation just outside the front door. The exchange did strike me as inappropriate considering the occasion, but I didn't mention it to anyone at the time. Events continued to get stranger that day. The coroner's report listed the cause of death to be a dry drowning. Her lungs spontaneously flooded themselves with salt water. It was also revealed that the victim was pregnant, which started a slew of unspeakable rumors about Asenath and what she wanted from the dead girl. But I never got a chance to discuss it with Edward, because by that time he had left for his honeymoon.
Where he was going, he hadn't thought to mention.
After a few weeks, life without Edward took on an eerie stillness. I began to feel a little like I was holding my breath. I mean, the thing is, I had become accustomed to a life of surprises. Contradiction of terms, I know. But what I mean is that I never knew when he was going to show up at my doorstep, or how he got there, or why. I don't get how the baby can be born underwater without drowning.
There's this guy who studied it. Well, anyways, they found that when babies come out underwater, they're actually able to, like, breathe for a couple of seconds.
The Bradley method if the lawyer
Well,
doesn't drown.
they've done these studies, Daniel, and some somehow once the baby's born, there's less pressure in the water and the baby's able to somehow breathe as it goes. I don't know. I'll have you read the book. Oh, shh.
Welcome back. How's married life?
Educational.
I've never heard it put like that before, but it's actually not a bad way to look at it. Oh, God. Can I get you anything, Edward?
No thanks. I'm fine.
So how was Europe? I hear it's beautiful this time of year.
What we saw of it, we spent most of our honeymoon in more obscure locations.
That's what honeymoons are for.
We've been back for about 10 days or so, finishing the restorations on the Crown and Shield House and the grounds.
Sounds exhausting.
It is.
And that, my friend, is the essence of married life.
The place makes me feel unsettled.
What exactly does Asenath do? You know, for money.
Asenath is without doubt a genuine hypnotist.
Really? We're gonna have to remember that. Maybe we'll work together somewhere down the line. Have you met any of her family?
Asenath doesn't have any family. Just two incredibly old servants who've been with her dad, and another strange girl who exudes the perpetual odor. Dead fish.
Every new situation takes some adjustment. Good luck with that growth.
So, when do we get to see the place?
Soon, I hope. I'll let you know.
Okay. Should I be worried?
Marriage is a good thing for him, Dan. He's having his first taste of responsible independence. And if you have no frame of reference for it, yes, it can be very overwhelming.
Okay.
It's a little too easy to fall in with the gossipy circles that unite a small town like Arkham. I do my best to stay out of them. But even I was curious about the peculiar union of Edward and Asenath. I found myself driving by his marital residence, Crown and Shield, as it was known about town, to catch a glimpse of his new life. The place was disturbing. I could only imagine his father's embarrassment. Not only had his son married into the most notoriously strange family in a 50-mile radius, but he was living with her in the neighborhood's most dilapidated structure.
Hi, is Edward in?
No.
Oh, wait, whoa, Jess. Do you know when he's expected?
No.
What's your name?
Eunice.
Eunice. Is the lady of the house in?
Asenath's gone right now.
Okay. Eunice.
Sort of an eyesore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pride and joy of the neighborhood.
I was under the impression they were renovating.
Who knows? Maybe they're working from the inside out. Have you been in there yet?
No, haven't gotten an invitation.
Too bad. Cheryl's been asking for the inside scoop. Have you heard from Edward lately?
Less and less. You know, I could be mistaken, but I swear to God, I saw him driving a car down Main Street earlier today. Kind of out of character for him.
Who knows what his character is anymore? Hey, I don't know if you've noticed, and I've heard this happens with couples who've been married for a long while. Could be it's just in the eyes, but I swear they're beginning to look alike.
Actually, I think that's what they say about dogs and their owners, Hal. Look, I know you're cynical about these things, but one day, if you're ever curious, I'll tell you what I know.
The biggest change in Edward was a sudden one. He was like one of those terminally sick patients who hangs on for years and then one day takes a turn for the worse. And as a chronic illness often does, it tightened its grip late one night.
We often feel embarrassed to admit to ourselves, that, not to mention to anyone else, the games that we play. I think someone's here.
What's the matter with him? The doctor called up and said he needed someone to take him. You got him? Yeah. What about my bill?
You got a card? Send you a check. I'll cover it.
I'm losing here.
What's that, your mind?
My identity. Do you remember that book we were gonna write?
It was a long time ago, Edward.
You were going to illustrate a book of my poems. You said you were gonna draw your dreams. You knew something, didn't you? Oh, never give the devil a ride. He'll always want to drive.
Are you drunk?
I need to have a serious talk with you later.
You should stay with your father for a while, till you feel better.
My father's dead.
Oh my God, Edward.
When?
2 days. I thought for sure someone would have said something to you by now.
I'm sure they figured you would have said something by now.
It wasn't in the obits.
I don't generally read the obituaries.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on. Stay here tonight, get some rest.
Apparently I was wrong about Edward. He's clearly too immature for a relationship of any sort. I'm not even sure that's the right word. No, not immature. Pathologically irresponsible. Contemptuously neglectful of anyone except himself.
Marion, don't be so insensitive. He just lost his father.
Can't you see he doesn't give a shit?
He's not healthy. His wife is worse than he is.
Don't be such an enabler.
Can't you help him? Is there anything we can do? I can't stand by and watch him destroyed.
Maybe we can get to know her better.
I don't think she wants us around. I've heard Edward say again and again, she's a very private person.
Excuse me if I don't buy into everything Edward says.
I have tried talking to her.
Bullshit. I'm going over there on Saturday. We'll see what's what. Hello, may I speak with Asenath?
She's not here.
Are you sure?
I said she's not here.
Are you a friend of hers?
No, I just take care of the place.
About as well as you receive the guests, I see. No, wait. Look, let's stop playing games, okay? I saw her as I was driving up. I saw her from the window and I heard her crying. And I can help.
Get out of here. Leave us alone.
Wait,
Let
wait.
go of this door, girl. We
Look, hey, no! Well, tell her that Marion Upton came to see her. And then I'll be back tomorrow. Can I help you?
I'm here to see Dr. Upton.
I don't usually take appointments on Saturdays. Is it an emergency?
I'm Asenath, Edward's wife.
I'm sorry. You know I stopped by earlier.
I have to apologize for that. And the way Eunice behaved. We've all been under a lot of stress. Edward mentioned the four of us having dinner. Would that be okay?
Sure. I actually have some things I want to talk to you about, so that would be perfect.
Tomorrow?
Sure. I'll check it out with Dan. What time would you like us to arrive?
Oh, it would have to be here. We're still not in very good shape for entertaining.
Don't be silly. We've been dying to see the place. We'll stop by around 6. I'm so glad you came. Oh, thank God, I'm starving. The baby's really acting up today.
Relax. Dinner's coming.
Oh, by the way, Asenath invited us for dinner tomorrow night.
Okay.
Oh, you are so fucking cute.
Hello, Eunice.
What's the matter with her?
She wants to know about your baby.
Can't she talk?
Not anymore. I brought this.
They've been with me all my life, and my father before me. They're not accustomed to visitors. Can I offer you a drink?
Water.
Are you expecting a boy or a girl?
A boy. We figured seeing our baby for the first time would be surprise enough.
You're very fortunate. My father's crowning rage is that I was not born a man.
Why would he ever tell you such a thing?
Well, a male brain has certain unique and far-reaching powers.
I've heard the same thing said about women far too often.
I was shocked to hear about your father. He was a good man.
I know.
Seemed to be taking it pretty well. You can talk to me, you know.
I'm trying, just not here.
There's nobody listening.
She is always listening. She always has an eye on me.
Okay.
Your line of work encourages people to believe that nothing exists that is not of this world.
Some people need to be guided.
And those are the people you have come to understand.
May I use your restroom?
Up the stairs and to the right.
Oh, and Asenath? There's nothing wrong with your brain.
Look, I can't go on just now. I'll come around next week, okay?
It was a little uncomfortable for Marion to work out an explanation for her momentary hysteria. But that's one of the benefits of her blessed condition. Pregnancy, I have noticed, is a plausible excuse for a never-ending assortment of troubles. Afterwards, we had a good laugh, followed by this awkward silence.
She's an interesting woman.
I'm not interested.
Stop it, Dan.
But what? I don't like her.
Well, I'm starting not to like him that much anymore either. She wouldn't tell me anything directly.
No kidding.
This isn't a joke, Dan. I believe she's being mistreated. And I think he's locking her up inside that house. Oh, God, and those servants, they're never going to do anything about it. Things never change.
Do you ever think that maybe he's the one who's being confined and abused?
Oh, please. You sound like one of those fathers who's trying to defend their child. It's so-and-so's fault. Well, it's nobody else's fault. And he's not your child. I mean, your child's inside here. And he needs a father who's not preoccupied with some raving lunatic who's obsessed with magical spells and all that Dungeons and Dragons bullshit, and basically making everybody's life miserable. Because he's been a selfish, spoiled prick his whole life, and he has absolutely no intention of ever doing anything other than making our lives miserable.
Marion, do me a favor, huh? Stop thinking. You don't know either one of them. You don't know the facts. What the hell is that?
It's just something Asenath gave me for the baby. It's fascinating. Daniel! Asenath?
I saw Dan's car was gone. I wasn't sure if anyone was home.
Are you sick?
You were on your way out. I won't keep you.
No, it wasn't important. I've got some time.
He's trying to kill me.
He did this to you?
They did it for him.
The servants? You're obviously exhausted. I need to know who was hurting you and why.
I can't.
Yes, you can. It's okay. Breathe with me a little. Why are they helping him?
They do whatever he asks of them. It's the way it has always been since the beginning of time.
Sorry, you lost me.
He can't be stopped. I'll never get out. He'll never let me go. Where are you going?
I'm just going to get something for your arms. I'm listening.
Why did he curse that his daughter wasn't his son? Tell me, what did he do to her? In that house of horror?
What did he do to you, Asenath?
That's not my name. I never want to hear that name again.
Marion didn't know what to make of the visit, or of the vagaries and riddles, and I couldn't help but be amused by her perplexity. After all, it sounded so much like Edward's usual banter that I had grown to expect nothing less. and it was not beyond the realm of possibility that Asenath would share the same enigmatic manner of speaking. And sure enough, when he asked me to meet him at the park a few days later, he greeted me with a similar complicated speech and a fistful of crumpled papers which he called proof. He clenched his precious documents as though they held the secrets of life and death.
I don't know where to start. Wherever. Did Marion mention the visit?
Visit? No, I don't think so.
No, I didn't think she would. Asenath has started talking about the baby. At first, I let her do it to me. It was too unbelievable. I thought it was a kind of hypnotism. There I was, looking across the room at myself. It was fantastic. When I asked her to stop, she started locking me up in the room. Dan, you have to believe me.
I believe there are mental factors which make this marriage suicidal for you. Look, I'll help you get a divorce. I'll talk to her face to face. I'll tell her to leave you alone.
Don't do that, please. It's not that simple. She's not going to go away that easily. She wants me for a reason. I have to stop her before it's too late.
You looking for somebody in particular?
They're always watching me. See him? I think he may be one of them.
Yeah, maybe he's just a guy walking in a park.
This is not my imagination anymore. I have to go.
He left me with one of the pages, his evidence. But evidence of what?
Seemed either unable or unwilling to tell.
The quandary was temporarily moved to the back of my mind with the arrival of more pressing concerns.
Marion? Marion?
I'm right here. Stop yelling. What took you so long?
Where are you going?
To the hospital. Baby's coming.
Oh, shit.
I didn't take him seriously when he said it. I had written it off as a product of his typical penchant for drama, but Edward had indeed gone away. Once again, he didn't tell me where he was going or when he would be back, and it was only a matter of days before I felt the vacancy created by his absence. I had something monumental to share with him, and he had chosen this moment in our lives to disappear.
They didn't leave an emergency number or anything?
I remembered how he had insisted it would be better for Marion and the baby and me.
Edward a message then.
I had to know what he meant by
For a
that.
month. Eunice, this is really not worth additional discussion. I just... Tell Edward that my son was born today. Tell him we named him William, after his dad. I thought he might like to know.
Sure, I can't get you anything.
Oh, no offense. I just can't stand the stuff.
Well, I'll just have to celebrate alone. So, how's Father treating you?
I'm not entirely exhausted yet. Thanks again, Hal.
Forget it. Though, not sure I understand you correctly. It was something about Innsmouth?
Yeah, well, I just want to tap into your expertise a little. You mentioned you knew something about the Waite family in Innsmouth. Came to collect on your offer.
Yeah, I could go on all night. What is it you want to know?
Well, for starters, what do you know about Asenath Waite?
Besides the fact that she's married to your good friend Edward?
Yeah, besides that. It's a weird situation, Hal. There's There's either things he doesn't know about or won't tell me.
I knew she had to lock her father in a padded attic room. Towards the end, he began shrieking like a frightened child.
How'd he die?
Insane. Under rather suspicious circumstances. That was just before she began studying here.
Was it murder?
Who knows? No one cared enough to investigate, or no one was brave enough.
Did you know him?
Who, Ephraim Waite?
Yeah.
Nobody really knew Ephraim Waite. Well, we all saw him around occasionally. You too, I'll bet, if you thought about it long enough. Yeah, I'd seen him come to Arkham a few times in my youth to consult some of the volumes over at the college. When I was younger, we used to study the things he left behind in garbage cans. Before he caught on, that is. Any little scrap of paper we could find. But you know, we could never decipher any more than a few of the characters.
You mean like symbols?
Yeah, he wrote in this Noachian foreign chirography.
Like that?
Yes. Where'd you get this?
Edward gave it to me. Some notes written by Asenath.
Yeah? Hold on.
This is his work?
Dan, do you see what I see?
I don't know. Tell me what you see.
Well, these look to be written in the same hand.
It's not too uncommon, is it?
Are you sure this was done by Asenath?
I'm sure that's what he told me.
It's too new to be his anyway, I suppose.
Make anything out?
Not much. But I'm fairly certain that this signifies Hallowmass. It's an important pagan feast. And I believe this has to do with immortality, everlasting life.
Are you sure?
Someone's up there.
Well, it just seems odd that they'd leave someone in the house for over a month. Especially in that condition.
Oh, you never know what those two are thinking.
Ladies, Daniel and I are stepping out for a few minutes.
A few minutes meaning how many hours exactly?
1, maybe.
Good. Yeah, Cheryl and I were going to take a walk anyways.
See you later.
We were?
Yeah, if it's all right with you.
You did fine the other day, didn't you?
Barely. I could really use a lookout.
Oh, no way. I plan to stay far away from whatever's sobbing up there.
I'm going over there. Watch the baby.
Marianne?
What's that smell?
Ah, the godforsaken hole. Only the foulest of sea creatures wash up on the shores of Innsmouth.
This is where Asenath spent her childhood.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
What happened to her mother?
Oh, Evelyn Waite hung herself. Cause of death ruled suicide. Ephraim had her committed only about a week before. Never even came to collect her things. Now, she spoke in tongues, spitting mad the whole time. I know. A few students tried to get in there to ascertain the language, but no one was allowed to go near her. Come on, man, have a look around. Ephraim Waite threw himself out the attic window and landed on his head. Cause of death? Suicide. Let me show you how he spent the last days of his life.
Sure we should go in here?
Dan, you scare much too easily.
Who owns this place now?
Sure, who has that dubious privilege?
Don't suppose she's been looking for that.
I went home that night feeling as if I had slid down the gullet into the belly of the beast. It was a sensation I hadn't felt in decades, but it was not altogether unfamiliar. Edward and I had planned to write a book together, where I would, as he said, "to my dreams." I hadn't told anyone but him about those incoherent images, the terrifying visions that defied interpretation. Except, of course, by Edward. And now the dreams were coming back, and he was nowhere to be found.
I went over there today.
Where?
Crowning Shield Place.
What do you mean you went over there?
I mean, I opened the door and I walked in.
Okay.
We have to do something. I don't know what, but we have to do something.
Marion, what did you see?
She was bound up. It looked like she could have been left there for any length of time. The ropes had cut into her wrists. God, it was just disgusting. And then she screamed.
Who are you talking about?
Asenath, Dan. I've heard that stuff like this happening all the time, and I always thought I'd be able to help someone when I saw them suffering. And what did I do? I ran the other way and hid. Like a frightened child who'd seen a dead thing walking.
Did she see you?
There's something wrong with her. Sitting in that chair so far gone, not even human.
Yeah, the whole family went insane, you know that? Edward has nothing to do with her instability.
I have to do something.
Marion, did anyone see you there?
I don't care. They have to know that they can't hide in the house that way.
Answer my question.
I don't know. I was scared. I hid. I heard someone coming and I hid, and then I got the hell out of there.
Promise me you won't go over there again.
I can't pretend that I didn't see what I saw.
Don't ask you for much. I am asking for this.
I don't know what he's been telling you, Dan. I know you think you love him. He's a liar. It's written all over his face. He's probably the most pathological case that I have ever seen, and yet you still believe him.
Hello.
Speaking. Is he alright? Where? Sorry? Yeah, of course. It'll take me some time, but I'll get there as quickly as possible. Thank you.
What was that?
Deputy Sheriff of Chesuncook, Maine. Apparently, a bedraggled madman stumbled into his town today, raving deliriously and begging for protection. Edward. Was just able to remember his name and my name and phone number. I will be back as soon as I can.
I didn't want to leave my wife alone. I didn't want to put her in danger. She was afraid and it pained me. But I was helpless to stop it. I wanted to hide my own fear from her. I wanted to bring peace and calm and safety back into our lives. But more urgently, I wanted to find Edward and bring him home.
Your number, and I tell you, we've got very tense situations here right now. Now, Rebecca, I want you to just listen to me for a minute, okay?
Yes.
Okay? We want to help you. Now, we can help you in a number of ways.
Can help me?
First thing we can do is pray for you. Okay?
Does it hurt?
Pardon?
Does it hurt?
It doesn't hurt. Our Father in heaven and His Son, the Lord Jesus.
It's Michael.
Huh?
Michael, the Archangel. St. Michael.
Patron saint of policeman.
According to the Book of Daniel, when the world's in real trouble, Michael will reappear.
How do you know about all that?
I was born on Michaelmas, and my name is Daniel.
I don't know anything about that.
Come on, through here. Get in this door.
You gotta get some coffee in you before you head back. You're liable to get yourself killed.
I'll take it under advisement.
It looks like he's asleep now.
Can he be released?
Yeah, now that I've got someone to release him to. Last time I saw him, he was in no condition to be out on the street.
I'm sure he'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not sure what happened to him out there. I couldn't get it out of him.
He doesn't drive. He probably got separated from his party, panicked.
Give me a call if you remember something.
Yeah, sure.
What happened to you?
Oh, for God's sakes. I can't stand it. I won't stand it. I'll kill her if she sends me back there again. I'll kill it with my own hands. Shh. Please don't make me go back. I can't. You do believe me, don't you?
I'm not going anywhere tonight. We'll talk it out. We'll figure it out.
Thanks, Dan. If I go back, one of us will die.
Stop saying that. Look, it's clear to me you're having real delusions. Probably brought on by some actual hypnotic ordeal you've been subjected to.
Dan? You awake?
Yeah, Edward, I'm here.
I know someday that she's not gonna let me go. Even now, it's only when she has to. She takes my body constantly now.
nameless places for nameless rituals. She keeps me locked up in her body upstairs in Crown and Shield. But she can only hold on for a little at a time. And I find myself in these strange, far-off places. Like you found me. I don't know where I am, hundreds of miles off. Dan?
I'm listening.
The worst part of it is that I know someday she's not gonna let go. She wants to be a man and to be fully human.
What does that mean, fully human?
You must have heard about the Innsmouth blood. There's a legitimate reason why people are afraid to go out there.
Edward, I feel like we're telling ghost stories, like we're whispering in the dark. I mean, I've heard the stories, Edward, they're mostly insane.
Don't say that I'm insane, whether or not I am. I haven't resigned myself to it.
I didn't say that you were insane.
It's all true, you know. The stories. Whether you want to believe them or not, they're true. You don't have to worry about convincing me. I'd rather spare you the effort. And remember how I shivered when I gave you those notes of Asenath's?
I know those papers you gave me were actually written by Asenath.
Is there really such a person? That thing.
Edward, you all right?
I'm fine. I think we should go home now. I think I've said enough.
Good night, Edward. I think we ought to get some sleep.
I'm fine.
Yeah, maybe, but I need sleep. I spent all last night getting up here to you, or did you forget about that?
I'll drive.
Either there was truth in what he was saying, or he was just crazy. And if he was, then he was dragging me with him. And what about the change that seemed to come over him, like a mechanical click? It was at that moment that the thought dawned on me, this man that I had for so long considered my closest friend, this person sitting next to me, whose face was so familiar. I may not know him at all.
I'm enormously grateful for this lift home. You must forget any crazy things I might have been saying about my wife. And about things in general. That's what comes from overstudy in a field like mine. My philosophy is full of bizarre concepts. When the mind gets overtired, it cooks up all sorts of imaginary concrete applications. You probably won't see me for a while, so don't blame Asenath for it.
I don't understand what's happening to you. What are you doing up here?
Oh, there are certain Indian relics in the North Woods. You know, standing stones, that sort of thing. They're very important to local folklore. Asenath and I were following that stuff up. It was a hard search. I must have gone off my head.
Sometimes I feel like I don't even know you anymore.
I'll send someone up for the car when we get home. I won't stand. I'll kill her. Look out!
You know where you are?
Hospital?
And who's that?
Somebody who's very mad at me.
It's all yours.
Good morning, Mr. Upton. You totaled the car.
Where's Edward?
Where was your seat belt?
Where is he?
He's probably home resting. He had to walk 6 miles with a gash in his head to the nearest house.
He's all right?
He's doing better than you are, Daniel.
Did you find Asenath?
What?
The old church. She was there.
Oh, Daniel, let's not start this again. There was nobody there except for you and Edward. And possibly Jesus Christ, because you are lucky to be alive.
She was trying to hurt Edward.
I'm sure if she did, then Edward would have mentioned something. Please, just rest. I need you.
By now, I thought I would have to accept that my friend was lost. Not that I wanted to. And I wasn't even sure I could, but I didn't hear a word from him since the accident. I've been toyed around with the notion that I might not recognize him if I ever saw him again.
Edward. Hello, Daniel.
How you been? I was worried.
Much better. I just came by to collect some books I lent you.
Remind me.
Studies of the old Innsmouth architecture.
Oh, God. Yeah, get him out of here, huh?
Where's the baby?
Marion took him to the pediatrician. Can you stay for a little bit?
Some other time. Those are the books.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I did recognize the man who rang the doorbell that day. It was the same person who drove my car back from the woods of Maine. Edward's regular nervous energy had been replaced by this one's uncanny calm. There was no trace of my old friend left. But just when I had prepared myself to give up on him, I heard his knock. And of course, I had my doubts. I told myself to be cautious.
Do you have any whiskey?
Is that what you're drinking nowadays?
Well, steady my nerves.
Marion's probably got something stashed away.
Asenath is gone, Dan. She just walked out. I suppose people will talk, but I can't help that. There's no need to mention that there was any trouble. Just say that she's gone on a long research trip. And she's probably going to stay with one of those horrible groups of devotees.
And you're okay with this?
I hope she'll go out west and get a divorce. It was horrible, Dan. She was making a prisoner of me.
This is worth a toast. You're completely out of your mind, and I don't give a shit. It's wild. Drink up to your newfound freedom.
To freedom. But Arkham history ought to back up what I'm saying. What I'm about to tell you.
Ah, here we go.
You witnessed one of the changes. That night in the motel room in Maine. That's the last thing I remember. You do know that. Oh, you have to know that, Dan. Come on. You had to know it wasn't me. You must have known the difference.
I know. I knew. I know. It wasn't you.
Oh, there's more I can tell you. I'll tell you when you're ready to hear it. Right now, I just need to lay down for a while.
Yeah, come on upstairs, get some rest.
Some people can do things that nobody ought to be able to do. I've been in it up to my neck. That's the end of it. I'll burn that damn Necronomicon if I ever get my hands on it.
Good.
I'm thinking about writing again.
It's about time. I'm glad to hear it.
Maybe we could finally write our book. I know you'll help me. I know I can count on you if anything happens. Even if I have to tell you a lot of things that might shock you.
Of course you can.
What are you doing? Dan!
I wouldn't.
What's going on?
You figure it out.
You'd never. I swear.
Edward, come on.
I wouldn't.
Come on. It wouldn't hurt. Come on.
But Edward had crossed a line now from which there was no return. Seemed as though he was no longer just a danger to himself. We were out of options.
He's in the midst of a severe depression. Whatever his mental illness was before, I can't say. But I have my suspicions.
Is he sleeping?
Right now, he's just sitting and staring. Like he's listening for someone.
And almost think he misses her.
In his own dysfunctional way, I'm sure he does.
It came in bits and pieces, but as usual, none of them fit. He could not articulate any kind of lucid explanation for his behavior or his frame of mind. But I was grateful, because if there was more to his madness than I was seeing, I didn't want to know. And yet I kept hoping that he would return to the fold. Over the next few weeks, I adopted a new regimen of unrequited visits, unreciprocated calls. I couldn't get through. No, not even after I finally tracked him down.
George. Mr. Upton. Is he here? I'm sure of it. I saw a light go on in the basement. How long's he been doing this? He's had me drive him out quite a lot. Spends hours prowling around the house, principally down cellar. Most of the time, I can't get him to come back with me.
So essentially, he's still living here.
More or less. We've had the house ready for him for weeks now, but he's invented every kind of excuse to postpone actually moving out of here.
Why haven't you told me this before?
It's not really my place. I figured Mr. Derby tells you what he wants you to know.
And she hasn't been writing to him?
There's no mail from Mrs. Derby.
Sounds more like an extortion.
I suppose.
Edward! You know where there's a light in here?
Oh, over here on the wall.
Please tell that to the accountants. It's just not speculative.
Jesus.
asked George to help me find you. I was worried.
I'm sorry, Edward.
What did I know? I knew that Edward wasn't coming back. If I only knew, he said. I knew I should have given up a long time ago. I knew Marion was right. I knew when I left that night I would probably never see him again. If I only knew. I know he must have been talking to himself, because for all that he had claimed to have seen and suffered, I don't think Edward had any idea.
You're going to keep doing that. I'm going to sleep.
Sorry.
Good night.
Night. Hello? Hello? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Something's wrong on your end. Better hang up, try again.
What was that?
Wrong number.
Go back to sleep, honey. It's just a Halloween prank.
That was last night. It's not Halloween anymore. Hello? Hello?
Daniel? Dan?
Edward?
Daniel?
What the hell?
It's him.
What does he want? Did he witness it?
Yes, it's all true.
No.
Read it.
Daniel?
We'll help you get through this, and I promise you, it's going to get better.
Dan, go and kill it. Exterminate it. It isn't Edward Derby anymore. She got me. Asenath. She's been dead this month and a half. I lied when I said that she'd gone away. They killed her.
I killed her.
Buried her in the cellar.
Buried her in the cellar.
The servants suspected the next morning, so I sent them off. I was all right for a while, but then I felt the tugging at my brain.
Tugging at my brain and my soul.
I found myself choking in the darkness in Asenath's rotting carcass. In spite of everything, I clawed my way out. Kill that fiend if you value the decent and comforts of this world. See that it is cremated. If you don't, it'll live on and on. Body to body.
Body forever.
Forever. And I can't tell you what it'll do. Keep clear of black magic, Dan. It's the devil's work. Goodbye, Dan. And a great friend. Tell the police whatever they'll believe, and I'm damnably sorry to drag you into this. I'll be at peace before long. Hope you can read this and kill that thing. Kill it.
The thing on the doorstep settled the questions, the ones that Edward couldn't and wouldn't answer. The gap between what we could until this moment understand and what was actually happening was filled, and the course of action was decided.
Never gonna write that book, are we, Edward?
Now isn't a good time, Upton.
Edward. Can I even call you that? I know who you are. And I know what you've done.
No. You think you know. You have what they call faith.
It turns out I don't have near enough of it. And not until too late.
What have you seen? You haven't seen anything yet, Daniel. May I call you that?
I've seen enough.
Be careful. You don't want people to think you've lost your mind. You haven't lost your mind, have you?
Yeah, maybe I have.
Daniel Upton, you're a man of God. You can't shoot me.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Keeper and guardian, you are bound in the name of Jesus Christ. Keeper, you who call yourself Keeper, is Jesus Christ Lord? You cannot have this girl.
I asked for peace. This is my reason.
What should be the outcome of those events?
No madness of mine could account for all that I have seen, all that my wife has seen, or all that we know now. And I've been through enough to know that it isn't over. An evil such as I have dealt with can never be wiped out so easily. It's almost as if I feel it lurking just out of sight. And I find myself waiting, thinking that at any moment it could start again.